And let's get more on this shooting with Steve Moore, who's a CNN law enforcement contributor and retired FBI supervisory special agent, and also Cheryl Dorsey, a retired Los Angeles Police Department sergeant. So thank you both for being here. The police, as you heard Shimon say, remarkably fast, arrived on the scene within 3 minutes. They still were not able to save the 4 lives that were taken here. Steve Moore, when you hear that, what does that say to you about the lethality of the weapon? We know it was an AR-15, and just what law enforcement is dealing with these kinds of incidents that are now becoming all too common.
Well, law enforcement is dealing with a weapon that can overcome their body armor most of the time. This also speaks to the fact that the shooter was more than just well armed; he was well trained. Doesn't matter how lethal the AR-15 is if you don't know how to shoot it. The shooter obviously was practiced. That's a big deal, and it's just becoming, I mean, a 3-minute response is tremendous. But one of the things we've learned is that, that's from the point of dispatch. The shooter calls had to be made. So on average, 1 person dies per minute when an active shooter is unchallenged.
And Sergeant Dorsey, one of the things that we don't yet know is whether there was any kind of security or law enforcement presence at the scene of this bank. What we do know is that the gunman apparently had a connection to the bank. Perhaps he was a current or a former employee. In that kind of environment, how does that complicate the response to an incident like this at a venue like this? That I think many people would think banks are pretty well guarded, but clearly this gunman was able to get through and cause several casualties here.
Well, one assumes that all banks have security on scene, not necessarily so. And so, it's very difficult to be proactive. We're reactionary in these kinds of instances. And so I'm just going to say this. We have to advocate for ourselves. It's nice to be nice. And I say that because I responded to a mass shooter incident on LAPD where the shooter went in the workplace with insider knowledge from cubicle to cubicle. And he said when he encountered one person, you were nice to me. I'm going to let you live. So it's nice to be nice because you never know what someone is going through. You don't know what their proclivity towards violence might be in the workplace. They have insider knowledge. And so that, too, makes it very difficult to overcome. And so treat people kindly because you never know when it may come back and be helpful in saving your own life.
Well, that is a very sobering kind of assessment of the situation, that people who are dealing with disgruntled colleagues could face being massacred potentially at their workplace. But Steve Moore, it does, all of this raises some questions here. I mean, we are sitting here 2 weeks to the day since the Covenant Elementary School shooting. And just a few minutes ago, President Biden released a statement calling on Congress to act on gun reform. As someone in the law enforcement community, you just talked about these bullets that can pierce body armor. What do you think should be next to prevent these kinds of things from happening again?
Well, if by some magic wand we were able to just stop the manufacture and sale of AR-15s to civilians at this moment, you still have to deal with the fact that as much as 100 million of them, of .223 rifles, that caliber rifles, might be in civilian ownership in the United States right now. So what we're going to see is a society that's more and more hardened, more and more, you're not going to just walk into buildings anymore. And I think everybody, all the viewers have seen this, that you can't just walk into business places. You have to be buzzed in. 30, 40 years ago, you didn't wear IDs around your neck, these lanyards. We're going to see this because even if we acted today decisively on AR-15 type rifles, you're not going to stop these shootings in the short term. So we have to do something to protect the people in the meantime.
Sergeant Dorsey, I wonder if you could also weigh in on that. Do you agree with that assessment that even if Congress were to act today, that wouldn't necessarily make things safer in the near term?
The horse is out of the barn. I mean, there are so many people out there who are already armed who shouldn't be. Ammunition is in their possession. And so these red flag laws and reporting family members, friends, we always find out after the fact that there was a red flag. This person did say something. There was an indicator, but those who knew this person intimately thought, yeah, maybe it wasn't a big deal, or maybe they didn't mean it and they don't report it. It's imperative. If you see something, if you know something, you absolutely have to say something. Err on the caution of offending a friend or family member, inconveniencing them. It would be better to have them talked to by local authorities, have guns removed from them temporarily, rather than have a loss of life to the magnitude that we saw today.
And Steve, as we are waiting for more information about what happened in this case, we need to know a lot more about this shooter and what was behind this. But does this kind of event, and perhaps it was a workplace event from someone who might have worked at a place like a bank, does that surprise you in any way? What are you looking for when it comes to the profile of who this shooter might be?
Well, unfortunately, we're having a lot of data to go into our intelligence base right now. Each shooting teaches us something more about what we're looking for, and as Cheryl said, you really need to start enforcing and enacting the red flag laws, which will help us in the short term until the long-term solution can take effect. And so, yeah, I mean, you break it down into random shootings, people just walking into malls, people walking into schools, and this is less random because it appears to be a workplace type violence shooting. I was kind of surprised that in a bank you could have that level of casualty because banks tend to be secured for the customers and for the employees. It also speaks a little bit about the hazards of the law enforcement responding. As we saw in Nashville, it was picture perfect, textbook response to an active shooter. But what you didn't see is sometimes the person fires back accurately and those first officers arriving take those rounds. And this is just a sobering moment.
It's incredibly dangerous for law enforcement as well. And there is one officer who we know at this moment is in critical condition. But thank you both for your expertise, Sergeant Dorsey and Steve Moore, for that conversation.